Hey, what's up? Welcome to Degen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of Luminar Technologies, or ticker symbol LAZR. And so the last time I did a video on LAZR was on December 8th. I believe the video actually came out on December 9th, but that was a weekend. And so that was on this, following this day, that was a red candle with a low on the day of $2.33. And during that video, I had cautioned about there being this uptrending consolidation, which I thought would break to the downside. At the time of that video, that is exactly what had happened. But in that breakdown, it looked like there had been some bullish divergence that was forming, which I did point out. And then just a few days later, we saw this, let's see, over 15% move on the day, December 13th. And then we've seen, again, some more uptrending consolidation, which is unfortunately bearish. However, I do think that if we take a step back, it's possible there could be something pretty compelling forming in the chart. So I did want to go over that. But again, cautioning that uptrending consolidation does tend to break to the downside. Okay, and so as I'm recording this, it is the pre-market on Friday, December 29th, the last trading day of the year. And on Thursday, price closed at $3.49. Pre-market, currently, it's at $3.50. I do think that the close for today, Friday, December 29th, will probably be around $3.50. I suspect that coincides with max pain. And yeah, so I do think price will probably be flat today, but it could, drop or it could pop. We'll have to see. And so basically what I wanted to point out with this chart is, number one, it does look like a gap was formed, which would be going down to a price of $2.87, which was the high on December 13th. The following day, there was a gap up, and the low, December 14th, was $2.90. So it looks like there's a 3-cent gap there. I suspect that will be filled. However, that would be require breaking down below $3, this orange line here. So, it's possible that will serve as support. If we do look at the volume profile, it does look like there's a little bit of a volume shelf there that goes down to about $3. But it does look like there is, a gap ranging from $3 to, let's see, $2.80. Or possibly lower, $2.70. So it is quite possible that we do see this, as bearish consolidation break down to the downside, going to around $2.70. I previously did have $2.14 marked in this green line. I don't really think that we're going to be testing that, especially because we've broken above what I had thought was downtrending support or resistance. We're now above that, so I don't think that we're going to get much lower than that. But yeah, anyways, the big picture pattern that I wanted to propose could happen is basically an inverted head and shoulders, where here with this red line at $4 a share, we see this potential shoulder having been formed there, and then the head coming down here to a low of $2.30. And it does look like we are making our way up to $4. Let's see. So my thoughts are that, if we do continue to get this consolidation, this uptrending consolidation, price could go up to $4 before being rejected, pulling back down to $3, which looks like it was the base or the top of this inverted, shoulder here. And from there, if we do look at the volume profile on the side, it does look like there's a lot of volume having been traded down to around $3. And so we could get a retest of that level, form the right shoulder. And then if that is to serve as support and we do go back up to $4, that would basically be a completion of this head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders pattern. And so that would suggest there could be notable upside following that. And so basically the way you get a measurement of, where you would expect price to go is if you take a measurement from the neckline to the head, and that is right around $1 70 cents, $1.69 here. And so that is the measurement. And then we want to then take that and move that to the upside. And so that would be going to approximately from $4 a share, marked by this red line here. That would be going up $1.70 up to $5.70. And so what's some significance that I see based on the chart that could bring us to that level, or that why that level could serve as resistance? And so what I see, number one, I do see this gap here that we need to fill. That's at $4.73. So I definitely think that is a realistic price target. At also, with that gap, we can see a gap in the volume profile. And then so getting to $5.70, it does look like there's a little bit of a volume shelf. If I do zoom out, though, it does look like there has been a lot of consolidation right around $5.70. Going above that, it does look like a lot of volume has been traded up there. So I definitely do think that could serve as resistance. And there's not much price action between the current price, the current levels, and $5.70. So if we do test $4, get rejected, pull back to $3, and then start going up again, I do think that we could rocket up to $5.70 if this right shoulder is formed. So I do think that there is a lot of potential upside for Luminar in the new year. So I'm pretty excited about that. And also, while I do have the chart up here, while I still have you, I wanted to throw up the moving averages because I also think that there's some compelling stuff with them as well, such as the orange being the 21-day moving average and the yellow line being the 50-day moving average. If price does continue to move higher, it looks like we will get a cross of the 21 over the 50-day. That would be very bullish, and that would suggest price could go higher. So we'll have to see what happens in the coming weeks. Also want to point out the 200-day moving average, which is at $5.37. So that's kind of in between the gap here and the yellow line where I would expect price to go. And so that'll be pretty interesting if the 200-day moving average will serve as resistance, or if potentially we see a wick above that 200-day moving average and then maybe a pullback, so that would serve as resistance, but then we would get a completion of this head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders measured move that I do think could happen as long as we don't see a breakdown of this uptrending consolidation before getting to $4 a share. So those are my thoughts on Luminar. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching.